Hi everybody, it's Mariana with Three Peaks Classroom. I am taking you along with me as we are journeying across Alberta. We are going for a 4.5-hour drive to the town of Grand Prairie. That is where my next Classrooms Across Alberta series is taking me. I'm so excited. My friend Shannon, she just got engaged actually recently, so I decided to double book this trip. So I'm going up to see her and to celebrate her engagement, but I'm also going to ask her to tour me around her beautiful grade 7 classroom. Alright everybody, so I made it to my hotel in Grand Prairie. I'm deciding to spend the night here because my friend Shannon, who lives in Grand Prairie, she just recently got engaged, like I mentioned earlier in my video, and I have a little gift for her, and we're gonna go out for supper and just have like a girls' night to catch up. I'm just getting ready to go out for dinner with Shannon. I'm not sure if I'll be filming. If I do, then I'll include it in the video, but I'm excited to catch up with her, and then yeah, we'll tour her classroom tomorrow. See you then. Good morning everybody from Grand Prairie. This morning it is a rainy day, chilly day, but they actually need it up here because when I drove into Grand Prairie yesterday, there was a ton of smoke in the air from the fires that are happening around Jasper, so I'm very glad that they're having this rainfall. It's very good. And Shannon actually doesn't work in Grand Prairie. She works in Fairview, which is a small town about an hour north from where I am. So yeah, we're going to take a ride together. We're going to carpool to her school and we'll chat a little bit along the way. And then we're going to take a tour of her grade 7 classroom, which is really interesting because Shannon teaches all of the subjects. So, which is different from when I went to junior high. You know, you had a teacher for math and a teacher for social. Anyways, all of that being said, we are going to come along with me. We're going to go say hi to Shannon and go to her classroom. Okay, so Shannon is here with me and we are going to be touring her classroom. Remember, she teaches grade 7. You have 10 kids?
Yeah.
10 students. 10 students in one class. Like, that's a dream.
It is. It's definitely the dream.
Anyways, so I'm going to flip the camera around. Shannon is just going to tour us around her classroom, all of the items that she has, and then we'll sit down and have a chat. Awesome. Okay, so take us a tour around your beautiful classroom.
So starting in the front, they're not fully set up yet, but I usually set up on KLOs here so the kids know exactly what we're learning. It's
okay,
like
perfect.
our I can statements.
Yeah, how often would you switch those out?
Whenever we start a new unit, so
okay.
Probably every couple weeks,
okay.
every month or so.
So you guys are clearly not doing any learning in language arts, math, or social studies
nothing right now.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Nope, I've just misplaced them.
Okay.
We have our rate yourself, which is like my favorite thing to do in the class, and it's the easiest way for me to do like a quick check-in with them. Instead of I was doing thumbs up and thumbs down at first, but then I found that there were kids who were like sideways,
yeah.
and I never knew exactly where they were.
So this is like a finger thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just tell me. So like 1 is I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
2 is I get a little bit, but not
I'm starting
really.
to. Yeah.
3 is I get it. I can try it on my own. I could take a shot on it.
Yeah.
And 4 is I could do this, and I could probably teach someone how to do it.
Perfect. I have expert badges in my class, and that's similar.
I did too. I had them in my grade 1 class.
Yeah.
But the grade 7s don't like that.
Oh, they don't like having the badge. Okay.
No,
well.
they don't want the badge. They don't want the badge.
Okay. Talk about the stuff on the top. Your affirmations.
Yeah, just affirmations. I found like a pack at Education Station, and I just really like them, and I think it's important to have them to like look at them every day.
Mhm.
Even if like we're not reading them out loud, but it's good to have them up.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and these are super cute. Tell me about those.
My flowers?
Yeah.
I found these at Michael's for like 75% off
What?
last summer. So yeah, I just got them and I was like, those will look cool.
Okay, so I have to admit, your classroom is a lot more fun and decorated than what I went to school and noticed. So talk to me about your style. Like, where is this all coming from?
Well, I have an elementary background. I was doing 2 years of grade 1 before I came up to grade 7. So that's kind of where my, I guess, classroom setup comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I also teach grade 7 full time.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids are in this classroom all day.
Right.
They don't travel really to any other classroom except for gym and our options classes.
Right.
And I've always had the theory that I need to enjoy being in the classroom because
Yeah.
I'm going to be spending all day in it.
Yeah.
So I may as well make it look as nice as I want it to
Yeah,
look.
for sure.
So I just like to make it look inviting. And all the grade 8s and 9s come and they hang out during break.
Yeah.
The kids
Well,
like
this
it
is a
in here.
super inviting space. I can see why.
Yeah, they love it in here.
Yeah.
It drives my grade 7s nuts.
I love your lights, by the way. That is
you.
fun.
That has deemed me cool teacher
Oh,
by many high school students.
Oh, high school.
Yeah, high school kids.
You got the in.
I got the in. Yeah, they say I'm really cool because I have the LED lights. I'm the cool teacher with LED lights. Last year, a lot of them didn't know my name, but
you're
I was the teacher with the LED lights.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
you know,
That's good.
whatever. That wins.
Awesome. Okay, there's lots going on over here.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
So I have my folders here where I put extra sheets, like worksheets and stuff.
Yeah.
So that if kids are away or if they lose their copy or something, they're here.
I love
and if
that.
my folder's empty, they have to figure it out themselves because I'm not making any more photocopies.
I love it. Grade 7.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Exactly. I have a small agenda so you can see what we're doing. They get a calendar in their, I actually have one here. They get one of these in their lockers anyway. Like
Okay.
I print them little color-coded calendars that tell them exactly how our day goes and our week goes. So we do things by blocks, so 80 minutes instead of the 40 minutes.
Cool.
Except for, like, with the exception of a few things.
Yeah.
Due dates and then our overdue work. So I'll write, like, the task and then what they owe me or who owes it to me.
Okay.
And they don't like to have their names up there. So.
I love your calendar.
Thank you. It used to take up the entire board,
Yeah.
and I shrunk it down because
Mhm.
it was too big.
Yeah.
But it's a way that if they ask me for dates and stuff, then it's up and they can see it.
National Guac Day.
Yeah, we like to celebrate those because it's like celebrate the little things.
Yeah, of course.
This one's my favorite, National Coffee Day, which is AKA Bring Miss Heaney a Coffee Day.
Okay, yeah.
It's my
Just
favorite day of the
everybody
year.
needs to know that day.
Yeah, that's a very important day. This is our sticker store. So I do a classroom currency. I do Star Dollars. This is like the cheapest thing kids can buy. These
Okay.
are 25 Star Dollars each.
25.
Yeah.
And how do you earn a star dollar?
Just by doing things around the classroom. And I used to hand them out for like answering questions and things.
Yeah.
But then found that kids were just repeating each other's answers just to
Okay.
get a Star Dollar. So I
Smart.
stopped doing that. Yeah, it's very
So
smart
like
for them.
tidying up garbage or
Yeah,
okay.
cleaning up at the end of the day.
Okay.
Wiping down tables, doing like little favors for me, running and giving notes to teachers.
Do you find that it works? Do you find that it's a good
Yeah.
classroom management system? And
Yeah, and it's fun. The kids like it, and
Yeah.
they're able to buy things like movie days or movie afternoons
Okay.
or free time. So it's fun to watch them kind of collaborate together.
Yeah.
And like you'd have kids who usually wouldn't collaborating
Yeah.
and saving their money together.
Yeah. I found the same thing in my classroom too. Kids would save up for extra recess or something.
Yeah.
So has anybody purchased a sticker yet?
Yes.
Yeah?
I've
Oh.
had quite a few stickers. Are very popular. The grade 8s and 9s always want to come and take my stickers, but they don't get Star Dollars, so they don't get stickers.
And where do you get your stickers from?
I order them on Amazon. You can
Okay.
get a pack of like 300 for $20.
Okay. Can you send me the link?
Yeah.
Okay. I will
you-
include
yeah.
the link down below in the description. All right. So this is just your little,
This is just my corner
Yeah,
with all
perfect.
my stuff.
yeah.
It gets rearranged every once in a while.
Cool.
I
I have the
flowers
same.
drying.
I have the same moose sign, by the way, in my classroom because I have a camping themed
Dollar
costume.
store, it's great.
Yeah.
These,
Awesome.
we adopted these critters in my first year teaching here. We adopted a moose and a wolverine.
Yay!
So they hang out.
Love it. Okay. And you just have a bunch of teacher stuff down here.
Yeah, this is our sewing stuff. I'm teaching a sewing fundamentals class. So I was able to order sewing kits and put together sewing kits. and I'll be,
Awesome. So that's like one of the options, sewing fundamentals.
yeah, one of our options.
I see, because you have some sewing machines hanging
Yeah.
out, which would not be in a typical grade 7 classroom, I don't think. So
No, not usually.
awesome.
Yeah.
And how many kids signed up for your sewing
I
fundamentals?
think I have 18.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
And I think I only have like 8 sewing machines, so
We'll have to
it's
share.
gonna be interesting
Yeah.
when we have it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what's going to be on these? So this looks
I
like
usually
language
do-
arts.
Yeah, language arts. We'll go up here as we go. So right now we're doing short stories
Mhm.
and like the literary elements and stuff. I just haven't put posters up for it.
Cool.
Yet, but the kids have all the notes and stuff. So
I see some games down here. Is that for like indoor recess or?
just for breaks in general,
Breaks,
all our
okay.
recess. We don't really have recess. They're
Oh,
just
sorry.
breaks.
Yeah, grade 7.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They can go outside, but
Yeah.
they choose not to usually.
Of course, they want to stay here.
Then we have like our library corner with
I love
a
it.
variety of books. I always like to make sure that there's picture books and chapter books and nonfiction and everything.
Do you find kids are grabbing like the picture books? Like I see your picture books
Yeah.
are down here.
This year I have kids who are super active readers.
Oh.
For the first time ever, I've had kids beg for more silent reading time.
Oh.
Every other year when I do silent reading time, they're grabbing picture books and just like wreaking havoc
Yeah.
on the time because they're just like trading books.
Yeah,
and it's
okay.
just a mess. So we have our tower garden plants growing
Okay, cool. Yeah,
so that we can grow our tower garden, which is on the other side.
I saw that here. I'll
And
just,
this is for our plants and fiber unit. So they're
her
growing
tower
things.
garden, I'm going to slowly pan, by the way.
Yeah.
Her tower garden is right there. So was that like a grant that you got?
So we had a parent or like a business, like a parent-owned business, donate
The tower?
6 of them actually
To the school?
For the school.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
6 tower gardens.
So how did you end up with one?
I was the one who arranged it.
Okay, okay. So you get one for
So
sure.
I get one for sure. I was gonna have 2, but it just was too much
Okay,
space
yeah.
to be taking.
And very bright, because those are
Well,
very
the lights only go on at night.
bright. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
because I used to have one of those.
yeah. But yeah, the lights only go on overnight.
Okay, this looks like it's health,
Religion.
religion. Oh, okay, yeah.
We're talking about duality.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like good and evil, and they had to depict that.
Sorry, I just noticed the suggested reading. Okay, cool. Did you make this yourself?
No,
Oh.
I have used a lot of the resources from Two Peas and a Dog.
I see that. Is that like a junior high?
Yeah. And she's great. So I take a lot of resources from her.
Sure, absolutely. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then this whole back wall, mostly, I use as my math word wall.
Oh, math word wall. Okay.
Yeah, or my math
Why such a
wall.
big space? Do you feel like they need?
I leave up everything all year.
Okay.
So like when I put something up here, it stays up for the rest of the year so that they can refer back to it as the year goes on because it's always building on each other. And I found that with these guys, like with science and stuff, you don't really need to be posting
Yeah.
as much as you would in elementary.
Okay.
They benefit more from having the math back here to reference.
Yeah, for sure.
So I started with just one board, then last year I extended it to 2 boards, and then this year I was just like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna do the whole
for
thing.
sure. It just
because
kept
it's
spilling
easier.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where did you get your cute posters? Is this TPT? Is this
Yes,
like a blog?
these are a TPT thing.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Can you, if you can find the link, can you share it with me?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. If Shannon can find the link, I'll share it down below.
These were a different teacher pay teacher. I needed a number line. It goes up to 100 both ways, but I only did it up to 30 because it
I
just was
love the
overwhelming.
design of these.
Yeah, I just bought these ones this year, and it came with these too. This is our ABCs of math.
It's like a boho color.
Yeah,
ABCs of math. That's cute. Awesome.
it's kind of the better way of having an alphabet up in a junior
Yeah.
high
Yeah.
classroom.
It's a math alphabet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we did review posters at the beginning of the year. The kids had to do the posters.
A review
of,
of what,
like,
grade 6?
Grade 6 math
Yeah.
concepts, because we just build on them.
And it's good for you to know where they're coming in,
That's
right?
exactly what it is. It's like an
Yeah.
assessment piece for me.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah.
Some posters.
Closet, we have the multiplication chart because kids still struggle with multiplication. I struggle with multiplication. So I
Yeah.
love it. And then we
Well,
just
and
have-
you know now in the new grade 3, sorry to interrupt, the grade 3, they have to learn up to 10 times 10 in
course
grade
they
3. Isn't that bonkers?
That's insane.
Sorry.
Yeah, my kids struggle with that often, so.
These are nice.
Yeah.
Those posters.
Yeah, they're just some nice quotes that are just nice for the kids to read, and I didn't think they were making a huge impact, but I've had kids come back, like some of my original grade 7s come back and be like, I remember that quote.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like a nice little.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm always partial to like a good watercolor.
Yeah.
All of my resources are watercolor. So.
All of my resources for grade 1 were watercolor.
Yeah.
And then I've kind of moved over to the kind of boho
For sure.
vibe because it was just a little bit more age appropriate.
That and
Watercolor.
you know our styles change, of course. And then we're back at the start with the.
We do have whiteboard tables.
That is awesome.
So we
Do you use them a lot? Like, do you have
we
the kids?
sit 2 to a table, and we do a lot of our math on here, brainstorming. Sometimes the kids just doodle on them because it's fun.
Yeah. And you allow that?
Yeah, as long as they're like not disturbing anyone.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Cool. And I just noticed this cart right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So clean rags. You must have a cricket.
Yeah.
That's cute. Nice. I love that idea actually, and I love that it's a rolling cart. So if they wanted to roll it over to their table or something,
Yeah.
if they needed to. That's awesome.
That's handy.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you very much for touring me around your classroom. I'm just gonna show you guys what it looks like from when you walk in. Really bright and cheerful. I feel like if I was in grade 7, this is the classroom that I want to be in. I noticed your teacher chair. Do you do any like read alouds, like novels, or?
Yeah, we're reading Harry Potter right now. I don't actually really sit in it a lot because it's like permanently leaned back.
Okay.
So the kids sit in it to do their silent reading. I let them sit in flexible seating for that. So they'll often sit in it just to read.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Let's chat. Okay, everybody. So we're going to sit down with Shannen now. We're going to talk about your interesting, dynamic history and background with teaching, because I've taught with you a few times, and I know the struggles that you've gone through. So I want you to share with everybody, though, your experience, how many years you've been teaching, what grades you've been teaching, where you've been teaching, how many schools you've taught at, all of that.
Okay, so I'm in my 8th year of teaching now. I've taught at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is my 5th school. For 5 years I taught in Edmonton, and then this is my 3rd year in Grand Prairie Catholic. I've taught grades 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now 7.
I mentioned that you taught like every grade except grade 2.
And kindergarten.
You taught kindergarten?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't. Okay.
And nothing above grade 7.
Okay.
So
even the kids though that take your options?
Well, I guess technically the 8, 9s
Yeah.
in my options class, but that's it. Like I haven't taught like curriculum.
The curriculum, the core
To
curriculum.
them and that.
So this is your 6th year of teaching?
No, my 8th year.
8th year of teaching.
Yeah.
You've been teaching 8 years already.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. 8th year of teaching.
Yeah.
You've taught at 5 schools.
Yeah. I've taught 6 grades.
You've taught at 5 different schools.
Yeah.
Like talk about like moving classrooms and stuff. Like that is such a pain
sucks.
in the ass. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. It sucks. For the first 4 years or first 5 years in Edmonton, I moved every year. So
you would move a school
and a grade. The only time I ever taught the same grade was my 4th and then my 5th year. I taught grade 1, but I did move schools.
Oh my gosh.
So I taught grade 1 in one school, and then the next year I moved not far down, just down the road.
Yeah.
And taught grade 1 at a different school.
And so you've been here now for 3 years. You're saying this is your 3rd year.
This is my 3rd year.
Teaching the same grade.
Same classroom, same grade. It's
Like,
been magical.
I was gonna say that must be a huge relief off of your shoulders.
Yeah, it's huge. I still have like PTSD at the end of the school year.
Yeah.
Like in like April, I get all nervous.
Even though you have your contract.
I have my contract.
Like you're not going
I'm
anywhere.
not going anywhere unless I want to.
But you just still have.
And I still get all this anxiety and nervousness. Like one of the friends in the school is in her 3rd year of teaching.
Yeah.
And after her 1st year teaching, she wasn't nervous at the end of the year. She's like, yeah, I'll probably teach at the same school. If not, whatever, no big deal. And I like was panicking for her.
For her, you don't know.
No, because in Edmonton, it's hard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about that because that was something else I wanted to talk to you about was tell me the differences of like working in a big city like Edmonton versus coming out to a small town like Fairview, Alberta.
Yeah.
And like, what are some differences?
So teaching in Edmonton is big. Like there's lots of teachers in the board, there's lots of staff in the board just in general, lots and lots of kids.
Yes.
It's super spread out. Schools are bigger, and it's just
resources.
You get a lot more resources. And in Edmonton, it was different because it was based on school to school. Okay. So like, if you bought technology at one school, like it was locked into that school. Yeah. It's not going anywhere else.
Yeah, that's how I would imagine it.
Yeah, here it's not like that.
Okay.
So when technology is bought in a school, it's technically owned by the board. Oh. So it could be moved.
Okay.
So a couple years ago, the board decided that they were going to cap it at every school has 65% of their school's population in technology.
Okay. So it's not one-to-one?
No.
No. Okay.
So our school had lots of technology. They had done fundraisers and stuff, and we had tons of technology. And then at the end of my first year, they took it, most of it.
That's gotta be frustrating for the parents.
It's frustrating for parents. It's frustrating for teachers.
Because like the parents were there fundraising, supporting, and all of a sudden to have it removed, that's got to be super frustrating.
It's really frustrating.
But I guess on the other side, if you're a small school in a small town and you don't have that parent population to fundraise, like I can see both sides there.
That's kind of where they were at. It was in Grand Prairie that they went to because they had schools that were a little bit more like considered inner city, so they couldn't have those fundraisers for the technology.
Okay.
So they took our technology and gave it to them.
Oh wow.
Which I get it, because you want them to have technology too.
Yeah, of course.
But it's also a little aggravating because we're so far north, we don't have access to just like the lending resources that like Edmonton has, like, you know, printing services and like a lending library and all those things. I don't have access to any of that.
Yeah.
There is no printing services that I have access to.
Right.
There's not really a lending library. Like,
okay, so lack of resources, that was something you were going to talk about. We were going to talk about with like small school.
Yeah.
Small town school. You just don't have a lot of the
And I think a lot of it is because we're so far north. So it would be different if you're teaching in like Sexsmith, where you're only 20 minutes away from Grand Prairie.
Okay, yeah.
So you do still have access to a lot of the resources like that Grand Prairie Catholic has. Well, we're an hour and a half north of Grand Prairie Catholic.
Yeah.
So we don't have access to the resources as often.
Yeah.
It's a trek for people to come out here.
Yeah, so Shannen was saying in the car that like one of the biggest downfalls of teaching in a small town like this far away is that, you know, they don't have like mental health personnel to come in and counsel the kids or anything like that.
Not as often.
Yeah, because it's like an hour and a half drive, and so, you know, they don't have as many people coming out there.
Yeah.
And so that is one downside to teaching kind of like in a small rural town, I would say.
We sometimes too will get almost forgotten because we're so far north. So like things that schools in town will get, or even things like they have a board-wide band program. Like none of our kids can be in that program.
Why?
Because it starts at 4 p.m.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's no way for our kids. There's no way for our kids to get there.
Yeah.
There's no way for them to get there fast enough.
Yeah.
So we don't really have a big music program. We have a music teacher.
Yeah.
But it's not like a big music program, and she only teaches 1 to 6. So our kids above grade 6 don't get any music programming.
Okay.
No. So
that's different. I mean, you just take it for granted, I guess, in the big city that you have all these available resources and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So
going from Edmonton, where I had access to all those resources, to here where I'm asking for them, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" Was hard.
Okay. That's another question I was going to ask you. Like, if somebody was considering taking a position in a small rural town, maybe they've already taught in a big city, or maybe they haven't. Like, what would be advice that you would give to somebody if they were considering a position in rural Alberta?
You have to be ready for the connections that you're going to have with parents, or that parents are going to have with each other or with the school. Okay. So all the parents like know each other.
Okay.
And they know, and there's
small
like
community.
Yeah. So there's like family lines, and you know, like everyone's kind of related in a weird way.
Okay. Or they know of each other.
Yeah.
Or they're my neighbor. Or,
exactly.
Okay.
You do have a lot more parent involvement.
Okay.
A lot more parents are willing to to volunteer for stuff, and parent council is still a struggle to get parents out to, but like volunteering for trips and volunteering, like that's never really a concern,
Well, that's good.
which is nice. But resource-wise, depending on how far out of a big city you are, can be a lot more difficult, and depending on what board you're in. So like if we were part of the Holy Family Board, which is where all the Catholic schools are up here,
Okay.
we'd probably have access to a little bit more, maybe not as much, but still a little bit more, because it's a little bit more closer together.
Yeah.
But because we're part of Grand Prairie Catholic, we have that hour and a half kind of trek.
Yeah. The division too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be prepared for lack of resources.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting.
You
at.
could be, yeah.
Yeah.
We have like a lot of manipulatives. We have a lot of like resources and stuff.
Yeah.
Like stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Personnel,
and we don't often get the people in for PDs to like teach us how to use these things. Right? Like we had boxcar and one-eye jack stuff in a closet that nobody knew how to use.
Oh no.
And then I came across them and was like,
why are we using these?
Why are we using these?
Yeah,
so
okay.
I
You
convinced
did the
them to-
PD.
I pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So
Be prepared to share your talents in the board or in the school.
yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you have to. You have to take advantage of the people that are in the small town.
Exactly.
And the last question I want to ask you before we wrap it up is if you could tell your future self, or your past self, your very first year of teaching self, a piece of advice or something to keep in mind, what would you tell yourself?
That eventually you're going to be able to settle in.
Oh.
Like that it's okay that you're bouncing around and that all the knowledge you're learning in all of those schools, like later on you will appreciate.
Yeah.
Because in those first 5 years it was just rough, and the roller coaster ride was just, it was awful.
The emotions.
Yeah, but it has taught me so much about how to deal with people, how to deal with parents, how to deal with admin, how to deal with students. It gave me a really wide variety of experience with students of different needs.
And how to support them.
And how to support them. It's given me more of a passion for my mental health and supporting mental health in the classroom.
And your wellness.
And my wellness and their wellness, and being a big promoter of that. And just having a sense of school community. Because I've seen like some schools with a great sense of school community and some without. So it's given me a lot of good positive experience. So if I could tell my first year self who moved out to Edmonton fresh and new, terrified of what was going to happen, that you're not going to get your contract when you think you are, but all of the experience you're getting will be super beneficial for you.
Very valuable. Yeah. And that's something we didn't even touch on, was that you moved out here from Ontario. Like you came from Ontario. They were recruiting you to come to Edmonton. And that was a whole roller coaster. And then you didn't end up finding a permanent contract because of like stuff like politics and stuff. But then eventually you made your way out here, and then you've settled. And you can just see like your shoulders just dropping, you know, like you can just see you've settled here, you've made your space, and you're using all of that experience that you've gained. So
it's nice because I feel valued here.
Yeah, of course. I guess you're like a bigger fish in a small pond.
Yeah,
right.
They definitely they make me feel like they know that I am valued and that they want me here and that they want to keep me here. I didn't necessarily feel that in the big city. It was more like, well, if we have a spot, great. If not, well, it sucks.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really, people cared, but they didn't have to.
There was a big pool of people that they could have pulled from, right? Yeah. So
there's always a lineup of teachers to pull from. While up here, it's different. Especially in Fairview. Yeah. It's different. Yeah. You don't really have teachers lining up to come teach in Fairview, unfortunately.
So if you're considering a small town school, there's a lot of benefits to teaching in a small town school. You know, you have that sense of community, and you have you're leaning heavily on people's talents and what they can contribute to the school too. Yeah. So if you're considering it, then you can even leave a comment down below if you're curious for more information. I can have Shannen reach out, and we can answer some questions for you. But thank you everybody so much for watching this episode 2 of my Classrooms Across Alberta series. I'm super excited. I traveled 4.5 hours plus 1 hour to get here. So 5.5 hours to this school. So thank you very much for opening up your classroom.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are interested in having your classroom featured on Classrooms Across Alberta, just leave me a comment down below. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.